Hello, my name is Michelle and I live in a 2021 Ford Transit van with my dog Blaze that we built out with help from friends and family. Welcome to our van build series where we show you all of the trials and tribulations and success that we experienced over the past 8.5 months. Let's jump into this week's video, which is month number 7. This first task was super easy and fast to complete, so I won't bore you with the details. I am getting ready to polyurethane the ceiling. This back corner piece is down. We have solar panels coming in like a week and a half, which means that we can finally close up the ceiling and start putting upper cabinets up. Sweet. It is time to finally install the solar array. I went with two 250 watt solar panels from Rich Solar because I got a great deal on them and they fit perfectly in the available space on top of the roof. Here's the first solar panel. We're figuring out exactly where to put the brackets before we lug this bad boy up on top of the roof. Here's a look at the solar cable gland we used. I'll put a link down below in the description. We set up ladders on both sides of the van so that we could secure the solar panel to the Unaka 8020 roof rack. Yay, the first solar panel is attached. Here my dad is securing the Victron Energy SmartSolar MPPT charge controller with Bluetooth. And here's a look at the Smart Shunt, the inverter, and the SmartSolar to show that they all work together. My next task was to continue putting the walls up. Good morning. So I am working on this long paneling section this morning, and then later I'm going to tackle all of this and all of this. This is right above the sink and will be part of the backsplash. All right, 2 of the upper walls are up. They're just screwed in. I've got to nail them in, router these edges so that they're flush to the bottom of this frame, and then paint this one. I'm not going to paint this one because this one will have cabinets, and then I still have to do this whole section. It's time to turn the air compressor on so that I can nail those panels in the van. A little red lever. Woo! There she goes. This is my nail gun / staple gun. And I'm getting ready to staple this wall over here. We just routered this edge. It's so pretty. Look at all that sawdust. Last month, I framed out the shower surround. This month, we are working on the interior, and next month, we will finish it. The current state of chaos. We are working on the shower and tapering the back wall to bypass the wiring harness. This morning's update. Got the shower surround mostly in, at least the base layer, and then we got to start prepping the interior for putting the FRP or plastic sheeting in. My dad used Bondo to seal any of the gaps before we applied waterproof membrane. Hi, today I am working on the wet bath. Putting the final coat of waterproofing membrane on, and then once that dries, 2 hours later, I'll be cutting out a template so that we can start to finish this baby up. Good times. I absolutely refuse to pay $600 for insulated window covers, especially since I knew that either I or my mom could make them ourselves. I needed insulated window covers for the back windows, the sliding door windows, and the driver and passenger cab windows. So I helped mom create templates, and then she went to work cutting everything out, sewing them all together, and adding magnets. Next up is to start building the galley kitchen cabinets. We did not finish this task this month because it's a pretty tall order. So you will see next month, which I'll release next week, that we were able to finally finish them. Here you see us dry fitting the sink cabinet on the driver's side. We quickly learned that the 1/2-inch birch plywood that I bought was not the 1/2-inch Baltic birch plywood you hear everyone using. That meant that we had to nail and glue everything versus using Craig screws. It just took longer and was a little more tedious than maybe it would have been. Oh, by the way, the fridge is here. This next cabinet is on the passenger side and will house 3 drawers, the induction cooktop, and the fridge. What you see here is just the drawer section. We'll get to the fridge section next month. This next task was Dad's idea. Today I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I think I'm going to nail all of this in, and then we've been brainstorming what to do with this section, which is to the right of the shower. We've talked about extending or pulling these out by about 1 inch so that each of these little nooks can be storage areas. So I might work on that today after I finish this section. We shall see. I wanted the storage area to taper at the bottom and the top. So I attached the middle piece first, and then we worked on sizing up and cutting the taper sections for the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the storage wall. Here's how we framed out the wall before we attached 1/4-inch plywood, which I'll cover off on in next week's video. This month was no different in that I share with you what I learned from this process, and some of those are reflections. One reflection is using power tools is super exhilarating. I've used power tools before, but not to the extent that I did during the van build. Some new tools to me were the brad nailer, a table saw, and a chop saw / miter saw. And I just feel indestructible. I don't know, like super powerful. It's almost like a power stance, if you've ever tried one of those before, like a presentation. So yeah, I just found them amazingly exhilarating. One of the challenges that we had to solve for was navigating around the wiring harness and navigating the taper of the wall in the shower surround. And so my dad and I were pondering and running through a couple different ways that we could do it. And we collectively came together and I was like, all right, here's the solution. And so I think it's such a great demonstration to myself. It serves as a great reminder, but also to everyone that when we work together, we are more powerful. When we collaborate and you have different perspectives coming in from different angles, we come up with a better solution. So if you find yourself at a point throughout the build process or at work, grab an extra brain and have them brainstorm with you different solutions and see if you can come up with a better one. I bet you will. How much did we spend this month? Well, I will tell you that we bought all the components for installing the solar array And we bought components to start on the shower surround and a brad nailer to secure all the walls and help us put together the kitchen cabinets that we built out. And all of that, plus what we've spent so far, brought us to a total of $13,524. That's it for this week's video. Check back next week when we complete all of the tasks that we started this month. And thank you so much for being here.